proudest day, and the proudest time, and the sight of a rally car, because that day and that hour and those minutes, I got the bit between my teeth. You know, I really stood up and was counted and said, this is not getting away. I remember when we pulled on our helmets and Donald says to me, what are we doing? I said, we're going for gold, Barrett. That's all was said. I can still picture that run. That was just the best run ever.
Welcome along to Krunching Gears, the Rally podcast. The 2025 season continues, and this week we're going to look back at the Bushwhacker from last weekend and what an event it was. The 50th anniversary, and once again Omagh Motor Club have raised the bar to a whole new level. An absolutely epic event, and Patrick and Stephen O'Brien took the one, their fifth in a row, which was an epic result. Pretty dominant performance all in all. And what can we say? Like, the O'Brien family once again pulled out all the stops to make it happen, and we catch up with them as well too. So we're going to hear that story. Also, then part of the event too was a demonstration run by Robbie McGurk and Hugh O'Brien, two legends of the sport. I'm sure they'll not appreciate me saying that, but they really are two epic drivers, and it's, you know, just to hear their stories over the weekend was something else. And I got a chance then to talk to Robbie McGurk, and his co-driver for the event then was Raymond as well too. So we're going to hear some stories there. And then the two-wheel drive battle was something else, and again too, guys just nipping each other in every stage, you know, seconds, tenths of seconds, fractions of seconds between them at times, you know, too. The guy from Lithuania, Martinis Samtonis, just blew everybody else away, but our local guys still, they weren't too far away, nipping his heels, and, you know, some real strong stage times as well. And the guy that came out second two-wheel drive, but our winner anyway, was Donall Sweeney, co-driving by Oisin Joyce, and we're going to hear from them as well too. But go back then to, you know, we've talked about the O'Briens before. Paddy and Stephen in the car, you know, yes, we see they get all the glory, but it's the whole family thing, you know. His dad prepping the car, the older brother then, Frank then as well too, he's putting in his shoulder to the wheel there. There's so many people all doing a job, and we thought we'd catch up with the four of them just to see, you know, what is the story behind it and why it all means so much to that whole family.
Yeah, it felt good. It was nice to get it over the line, and yeah, pretty dominant too. There was no questions about it. We just sort of won it fair and square.
Mm-hmm. And right from the go, like at the very first stage, you put down a marker. Was that kind of the game plan to attack right from the very first corner of the first stage?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I said to Stevie, I don't want this going to the last stage again. I'm going to want it fair and square this time. So we put down a marker and we didn't stop.
And like, Stevie, I was chatting to you on Friday night after that first stage, and you said, you know, it felt good right from the, you know, the first kilometre into the stage. Like, was it obvious that it was you just hit the sweet spot straight away?
You just get some stages, and it's not too often you get it where you just know everything's just cars doing everything you want. The driving's just on point, and the notes are flowing, and just the feeling was unreal. And got to the end of it, like, and I knew roughly what the time we did the year before, and I was looking down at my watch to click it off, and we were still in single digits, and I thought, Jesus, we're on a blinder here. Like, this is a sharp time. So yeah, I knew this is a good run here.
And that was in the dark as well too. Like, so that just
yeah, exactly.
And Kevin, like, you were standing in service waiting in them times to come in. Like, is it like, Jesus, these boys are pushing here whenever you see them times coming through?
We're actually standing at the end of the stage, so it's probably even more nerve-wracking to be there. But it was the times actually come up before Patrick came down, and it was actually Adam Platt who told me the time.
Right.
And I sort of thought, that's massive time. McGurk must have had some issue in here to take that time out of him, you know.
Yeah.
And he had, I don't know, he run wide or whatever happened to him. But yeah, it was a good start now, definitely. Sort of start you want in any rally, like, so it is.
Mm-hmm. And like, it's like Paddy said the last time he was on, that as a young fella going to the Bushwhacker, he was telling you, I'm going to win that rally. And like, the way that they've turned that round now over the last few years, I would say it only seems like yesterday he was pulling at your trouser leg telling you that, and to see now I'm a 5-time owner, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it is. You know, he was standing beside Q O'Brien the other day, and Q's a 4-time winner, and you look at Patrick and you realise he has actually won it 5 times now, you know. So, yeah, massive achievement. You never think back then that, you know, them things will be achieved, but your life moves on and they grow up and they've been around cars. Patrick's been rallying from he was 11 years of age at Alltrack, like, so that's really where he started. His first tarmac rally was Donegal Juniors with Tommy, but he's actually been in a car. And I remember the day that happened, we went till Alltrack, and Patrick literally could not drive the car up to the start line because the other 2 lads, well, especially Frank here, he drove the cars about the streets, the rally cars and that. So, but Patrick didn't do that. And we built him a car and went to Alltrack, and he was as nervous as anything. Couldn't find the biting point on the clutch or on, and drove up over tires. And oh, what a mess!
That was actually Stevie you're talking about, not me.
I was going to say, Frank didn't just drive the rally cars around the streets, he had them up the road, that they do.
Well, I don't know about that.
They never told you about that one, Kevin.
I'm hearing the stories now.
Yeah, but Frank, like, it must have been a great household to grow up in. Like, there was just, must have been just rallying breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It probably was. You don't really. It's a bit like the one in the Bushwhacker and Enniskillen and stuff. You don't really pass much marks on it till, like, you had friends round, like a Pascal McYarney would come round and be like, geez, I'd love to do what you're doing. And you're like, why? It was just put it in the tiller and go to the next rally. But, like, we're rallying, I don't know, from back. I don't mind the Manta 400, but I mind the 6R4 that Tony and Daddy would have rallied, you know. But Derek Job had a Sleeka, 205 Sleeka. She was a pretty cool car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some 99 world cars, there's some good stuff about, like, and growing up that, it just comes second nature to get in, start it and drive it, and we were probably lucky, maybe.
Yeah, because it's probably only now in hindsight you're looking back going, wow, you know, like I sat in a 99 Subaru or an ST 205 Celica. Like, they are kind of like the cars of boyhood dreams now, but at that time they were just the norm.
It was. You probably didn't think much of it back then, but when you look back now and the 205, I remember being down the road one night before a rally, like, and it was just typical Group A car. You were just lighting up the back of the car with flames, like, and I mind thinking as a young kid, what is that like? But it's unbelievable, like, looking back, and probably very lucky to grow up in that. And when your mates would have come around and be like, geez, I'd love to be what you're doing or whatever, and you didn't really pay attention, but you probably do now, you know.
And Kevin, it was Monday Glass I met you one day, and I remember you telling me there's a young fella there, and that boy's going to be a champion, and that was Paddy in a wee white Corsa with blue bumpers, if I mind right. Like, he had a very natural talent right from the start.
Funny, the Corsa just sitting here beside us, so she's Paddy got her in along with Ryan Skoda the other day in pride of place, but look, once he got his first one, he had a good apprenticeship to do down there, and once he got his first one, it was a lot easier, and that's probably the same in, you know, when you move on to the higher ranks in rallying as well. Once you get your first one over you, and I think he won 9 championships in Ahadui. Won a couple of them outright overall as well, so not just the class. So that's good training. There's no better training than going to even Money Glass there. You know, Money Glass is a sort of an old estate with concrete roads on it, and you have cows doing what they do for 3 months, and then they decide to go and do a rally on it. Like, and on a wet day on that type of surface, it's massive learning. Even though it isn't a low-powered car, it's massive learning.
Mm-hmm. Because the cars are so equal there. Like, that time it was, I think, 1200. Like, and they were all kind of courses, micros, and all that. Like, it wasn't big deep pockets. It was just natural talent that was shining through.
Yeah, exactly. The cars were pretty all similar in 1.2 courses, and as I say, I used to go and sit with him there when I was free to do that, and it was massive learning. You won't get that anywhere else. At 11 years of age, 12 years, 13 years of age. By the time he got to 17, when he went to the Donegal Juniors, sure, he had a good number of years under him in conditions, good and bad, at different events. So even funny when the Motorsport Ireland boys said that time that he that next year, whatever, when he was nominated for the Ballycoleman, they were saying that Patrick had landed down and he had so many years' experience. And I think that led actually to the juniors being formed that realised that All Track was doing this and they needed to do something, and it ended up the junior thousands through, can't remember your man's name.
Ray Fitzpatrick, yep.
Yeah. So I think they realised then that they need to start them earlier if they're going to get on par with the lads from the north, and lads in England as well, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess Patrick, I suppose it has been a breeding ground. Yourself come out of it, the Moffats, Alistair Fisher, John Armstrong. Just to list the names, Callum Devine. It shows you the benefit of that getting into the car so early.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually think you're supposed to start when you're 12.
Yeah.
And then we were up at it one day and there was nobody checking ages or anything, so we decided we'd go more 11 because I had the height as well, so we started a bit earlier than everybody else. Yeah, it was fantastic learning, like so nervous going the first day, but then once you get a race or two under, you start to get the feel for it and the nerves start to go away. So when people ask me even today, like going to rallies, are you not nervous? And well, I've been doing it most of my life, so you just second nature, to be honest.
And whenever you did go onto the roads, then it was Donegal, like baptism of fire or what, straight into the juniors there in a wee C2, and Tommy Nugent sitting beside you. Tommy is always in that story. He was out there at the weekend again in a car run by your own team as well.
Yeah, Tommy was the first person to ever sit with me. He went to the test. He was very, very nervous going to the test, but once we got that done, he wasn't so bad. And then I can't even tell them the whole week that I was going to go fastest on Fanad in the juniors, and he was telling me just get around. Your dad's going to go mad if you start thinking like that. But I think we did 2 stages, and then it was Fanad, and my dad actually go fastest on it. Yeah, it worked out alright.
And I suppose then going back to the Bushwhacker again, as it has become this iconic event. When you see this year, the 50th anniversary, probably the best ever gravel event in Ireland in terms of entry, of quality. The Omagh Motor Club has just created this absolute legendary rally. I've asked you this before, Paddy and Stephen, maybe I'll ask Kevin and Frank, what makes the Bushwhacker so special? Frank, will you take that one first?
I don't know what it makes it I don't know what it is it's unreal. It's even talked about in Perth, and that's 3 months ago it's been talked about. Mm-hmm. But I don't actually know what it is, and the amount of people around here, you have Omagh, Strabane, the amount of people that gravel rally around this area is unbelievable. But I don't know. I haven't a clue. It just keeps getting better, and it's just the Donegal of the gravel, as they say now.
Yeah.
I haven't a clue.
And Kevin, you've been there and seen it all coming up through, and you've seen it. For a local man, it must make you very proud to see the event to where it is now.
Yeah, for sure. When you look back, I think the first time I went to Q O'Brien, I remember standing on the short lock Braddon on the 2 jumps, and Q O'Brien was coming on the BDA, and even the atmosphere then, when you look back and you mind the noise of that car, and just the whole thing, the way it is built up over the years, where Omagh Motor Club have it now, it's a phenomenal achievement for them to get it to where the level it's at now, and it's definitely the best gravel rally in Ireland. There's no doubt about it. Just the atmosphere and what they've done this year, and the regroup or whatever in Castle Errigan, fantastic achievement by the club and all the people that have worked through the years to make it what it is to this point. As very hard to pinpoint one thing that you would say, but I suppose for the like of me, it's our local rally, and you always want to win your local rally, and we're lucky enough now to have won it 5 times. So, yeah, very good. Try for 6 now. There's nothing else we can do.
No pressure, boy. But Stephen, that regroup, there was something very, very special about it. It was back to the old school. There wasn't a whole pile of barriers, or it was just a very relaxed, very easy going. But there must have been 400 people there on Friday night.
I would say it was more. We had to do a little loop to come down on the diamond. We turned around the left-hander, and it was like, Jesus, the amount of people here. It was like ERC or
that's what it was.
WRC, honestly. And as you say, there was kids walking in and they were able to touch the rally cars, and They were in talking to us, and it just like you can't bring it any closer to the people. Like, and really have to say the motor club did an absolutely fantastic job. Just the atmosphere, the buzz, everything was great. And we spoke previously how like I don't know how the council didn't support that, or how you can't look at that and think, Jesus, you know, we're trying to draw people into the towns and to spend money, and like you have 500 people standing around at 10 or 11 o'clock on a Friday evening, like, and Tommy was even saying when they come through and they were running pretty far down the road, there were still loads of people there. They couldn't believe it. So yeah, fair play to the motor club. They've brought the rally to an unbelievable level. I would say, never mind gravel rally, and it's probably one of the best rallies in Ireland now.
Full stop. Yeah.
Because
like Paddy, like we've seen it in Castledurg, like the pubs were busy, the takeaways were busy, like the spend in Castledurg on a Friday night, they'll want it there every year now.
I would say Castledurg now on a Friday night wouldn't get every Friday, to be honest. But yeah, it was fantastic. Like I got my eyes open. I thought, look, this is going to be a bit of a torture, to be honest. There's nobody here. And yeah, as he says, once we turned sort of square left into the diamond, I thought, Jesus, there's people everywhere. Like, so, yeah, it was pretty cool. And then obviously with Robbie and Q there pulling in behind them, and the Mata and the Mark II was, yeah, it's pretty special.
And like as Stephen said there too about like, you know, the young ones there too, and over getting their photo taken and sitting in the car. That's the next generation. That's that's the Paddy O'Brien and another 15 years time or something too. That could be the guy that's challenging your 5 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. And not alone that, like there was a few of the parents that their wee girls were only maybe 5 or 6, like, and the parents had no interest in rallying, but these wee girls were just stunned at these cars, and they were fit to tell me what makes of cars and everything there was, and I genuinely couldn't believe it. Like, and there was one that went and watched like previous year or something, and the first rally car she ever sit, so like laid eyes on was us, and yeah, the father said I had her a stone on the way past, so I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, it was really good for them to see it, like, and especially when it's not so easy to get to the forest, so when you take it to the town, it's great.
And like to show how small the world is, like you're sponsored by ARC, in Australia. Like there was somebody there taking a photo to send that to Australia to show, and like I think it was the guy's mother, I think, and like she was taking great pride in getting her photo taken beside her son's name on the car, like, and this was just, she was buzzing with this, like that just, she couldn't wait to get the photo sent to him. Like that, it just shows you how small the world can be at times.
Yeah, it's all very close now, like, and it's pretty close to Drumquin too, where they're originally from too, so it was kind of all sort of very close, and it was nice to have it in there. And yeah, most of their family came and checked out the car and got a few snaps with the name and all that. So that was brilliant.
Yeah. And then, we'll have to say about the rally itself, it ran faultlessly, every stage run on time. I think every car got every stage as well. There wasn't a stage lost over the weekend. And like for even, yes, there was a few patches caught up, but in general the stages held up really well.
Yeah, the whole event ran faultlessly. Sure, Omagh always set a high bar. Stages, yeah, I suppose they got a little bit cut up, but when you're running that many cars over it, but it was nothing that you would ever say it was bad. I've been in a lot worse stages than that in the first class, never mind in the third or fourth class. And sure, the stages, what do you say about them in general? Like, 3 of the greatest stages, and I'd bet I would take any old man anywhere. I'd take Ozier or Loeb to have a cut-through car, go home and knock him out of a smile on, But, I'd like to see how close we get them through, to be fair. But just magic rally and just great stages.
Yeah. And like, with Frank this year, with the closed road format, and that got got the maximum mileage out of them as well too. And the wee bit of tar, it mixes the whole thing up a wee bit as well.
It does, surely. So you hear it there on the Friday evening, what tyres you going on, even the 2-wheel drive boys are at it, about tyres and what the tar will do to them, and it's kind of unknown. I think there was a right wee bit of tar in Killeader, so it mixes it up a bit, and not alone for the 4-wheel drive, as I say, for the 2-wheel drive as well. Like the extra wee bit of length helps it. So no, fair play to the club. Hey, to try everything, and And it's not just down to your Clarkie or course or the people sitting behind screens. It's the people out beating in posts. You like a Peter Moore, Aidan Baxter. They're all local people. And we went down on the Thursday, or must have been the Friday morning, to put in the lorry, like, and them boys are coming in and them drowned it, like, posts in the back of a ute, and it's mad. Like, you don't really see that there until you see somebody coming in and them soaking. So big props to them lads. There's plenty more of them, I'm sure, but I know Petey and Baxter definitely be at it.
Yeah, and like, as well as that, like, they were probably finishing up at 1:30, 2 o'clock on the Friday night, and to turn the stages round and not just turn them, it wasn't just a matter, let's go again Saturday morning. Like, Colleter was completely more or less changed. Carrickholton was, they run at the both ways, and then Loughbradden was completely reversed. So like, they had an awful lot of work to do before the Saturday rally even started again then too.
They did exactly. The chatting to Gordon Peter, like, and he was saying that the amount of extra work it goes to actually turn the stage, because you're putting in extra posts, so you don't have to. You just basically put a bag over it so it doesn't be seen going the other way. And you never think of these things. We're in here getting cars ready, but they're out there baiting in posts and baiting in extra posts, and it's a lot of extra work, especially the night rally as well. But look, you see the crowds and you see the people writing on the internet about it, and it's probably all worthwhile then for them.
Yeah, and I suppose, Kevin, getting back to these boys here, like, you couldn't ask for a more dedicated bunch of lads. Like, they've all their jobs to do. You're helping getting the car ready, but like, Frank and Paddy is out in Australia, but that doesn't mean that they're hanging about. Frank's out there trying to get the money gathered together. Paddy's doing his fitness. Stephen's getting all his things done. This is a huge team effort from a very small team.
Yeah, it is indeed. There's a few other lads there that come in as well for not alone the mechanics, like of Tom and Ryan and Aidan, who was there, and then we Finn, but also Stevie O'Hanlon. Stevie does a major amount of work and takes the pressure off both myself and Stephen, and any coordinating that he does, fueling. Frank looks after the tyres. So everybody has their own job, and it's no different than a football match. If everybody's not doing what they should do and do it right, you ain't going to win anything. So, if Tom's doing the job in the car, Tom knows it has to be done right. Anybody else is the same. So Aidan, everybody, Stevie O'Hanlon, all them boys do their job right. And when you do your job right, it's easy for the lads in the car then to do their job right. And it's a team effort. You won't win anything on your own. Like, no way.
And you have strong lads there, because if they say they're going to do something, it's done. You're not having to check and double check. You just know it's done and it's sorted.
No, there's none of that. They do their job, they know what they have to do, and it's done, and you don't be checking any other work. You can trust them that it's done, and that's what it needs to be. When you're going out to drive a car that hard in the forest, and Patrick obviously has to feel the same. Yeah. You can't run it on your own, definitely not. There's no way. And even the amount of planning goes into that event on the Lakelands before them two events, like the Lakelands and Bushwhacker, the amount of planning and work goes into it before the boys even get home, and the work on the car and changes to the car between both events for different types of. The Lakelands is very fast, big jumps and stuff, and the Bushwhacker, it's fast but doesn't have as many big jumps, so changes to things like that. So, but in fairness, Patrick done the Bushwhacker work. Patrick done it all himself. He done the diffs and he done the dampers and everything himself and prepped the car himself, because there was plenty of other things to do for the rest of us.
Yeah. I couldn't afford to pay the other boys, had to do it myself.
He's ready to pay too high up.
Dear, all these months he's getting dear.
But isn't that what it's all about? Everybody pulling together, everybody doing their thing, and like, they get as much kick out of you getting the ones as you do, probably, as well.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry,
that's Paddy, is it?
No, go ahead, Kevin.
For sure. When you're standing at the end of the stage and everything is worked out and the car has been reliable, which is our end of it, and you come driving down to the end of the stage with the one, whether it be the Bushwhacker or the Lakelands or whatever rally, you feel like you've achieved what you've set out to do. And especially for the boys coming back from Australia, you don't want the car breaking early in the rally. It's sort of a bit of a mess if that happens. So when you achieve that there, Everybody has done their job right, and it's a massive feeling. It's probably as good a feeling as me winning the rally, to be standing there at the end of the rally, knowing that you've your two sons in the car and the other man that helped as well, Frank, to achieve all this. It's a good feeling. It's probably as good a feeling as when I crossed the finish line with Robbie that year, and I still remember that, finishing it on the short lock Bratton, coming up to the waterworks there. To be honest.
Yeah. And Paddy, there's no feeling like it.
No, definitely not. As soon as you cross the finish line, I just can't wait to get down, because I know the boys will be standing down there, and can't wait to get down and see them, and job done again.
Mm-hmm. And it never dulls. Like the fifth one's as good as the first.
Somebody said to me the other day, "Do you not get sick of winning?" But I'm sure losing was going to feel worse than that. No, definitely not. I enjoy it. It's nice to come back, and no pressure, and just have fun, and works out.
Yeah. And like Steve, we have spoke before too, you're sitting with Ryan and things like that, and but for these guys being away in Australia, it'd be very easy to let the fitness slip, or let things kind of go. Sure, I'll be home in the winter month's time. We'll sort that out when we get home. That's dedication. They have to keep doing. They have to keep putting in the hard yards at the other side of the world.
Aye, they do. Yeah. And they're involved a bit of motorsport over there too now, which has probably helped too. It keeps them sharp. And I normally get a text message about. Don't hear from these boys too often. I get a text message about August. What weight are you? That's Paddy telling me you did a rally shape.
You see the picture of you and says,
it's harsh.
So come Christmas, you have to go eat the turkey.
No, that's not easy, but it takes everything. Even people be laughing at that, but you have to be in shape, and you have to be in a certain weight, and it affects the dampers and how you're setting things up. There's nothing worse than you get into the car and they start screwing it up because you're too heavy. To really hit your ego, like.
And Frank, talking about rallying in Australia, we see in the last few years rallying has been getting more and more popular in Australia, and a lot of that's to do with the likes of yourselves going over there too, and you're looking at ways of getting more involved over there now.
100%. Fella Eamon and the two of them, Eamon and Joe, bought a Rally 2 Fiesta out there, and we're kind of screwing it and footing it, and we ended up. Me and Paddy went one day, took this mad notion to buy a BMW shell. So we're trying to maybe build something like Sonus's BM for out there, rear wheel drive, and maybe build the same here. Give the 2-wheel drive a go. I don't know where I'll let him drive it, or try and drive it myself, keep him out of it.
Another true story about how we bought the BM. We were watching TikToks of some Sonus in it and the revs of it, and then within about 24 hours we had a BMW bought in the shade.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
So you see in the service area, there's nothing but just tricolours. It's just Irish after Irish people. Hey, so it's getting popular. Like, it's just, I don't know, many R5s are at the weekend. When you take a look at them and see the mount here, like, I don't know, there's probably only 10 R5s on Australia, like, and the size of it.
Yes.
No, definitely, it's getting bigger out there. As I say, the guys bought one, and there's the Rulos and WA and a couple of other guys here, Scott Penner and all them people, so hopefully Paddy will get a run out maybe in something again and give it a go,
Yeah, because the stages and all look out there look fantastic, and such a variation. You can nearly have a world championship out there on its own, because every different territory has unique stages.
Every different state, like the WA is very dusty with like red dirt, and then when we were over east, you could get blue gravel like here, or you could be on sand. You know what I mean? You just never know what you're going to have. Obviously, the guys that are there obviously know, but for us, it's all new, But there's only one way to get experience of it, and that's rally. So,
and a man that was mentioned earlier as well, Sansomas, coming over to coming all the way from Lithuania over, an old friend of yourselves of the whole team there, coming the whole way over, bringing his outfit there. Like, what a performance that man put on at the weekend.
Aye, Martius is a good friend, and he has a good relationship with Mick there as well, and Mick helps him very much when he comes over. So yeah, brilliant to see him bring that car. Sure, you know, that's a crowd puller on any day. Like to hear that thing coming through the forest with you know, a good driver like Martius in that car, brilliant, and beautiful prepared car too. And for him to show off some of his dampers and transmissions, it's ideal. So it is, yeah.
Yeah, I like it, Stephen. It's an ideal showroom for what he does. Like the you know, the car is like unbelievable. It's like a monster coming down the stages, but it's got the best of the best stuff in it.
Yeah, I sell some Sona's parts for Mick, so it's very easy to sell something on a Monday when they go, well, how good's your gearbox? And I say, well, are you near YouTube? Or were you in Castle Derg on Friday? Because you probably heard it going through the woods from Castle Derg. The man's not afraid to rev it anyway, no matter much. You know, it's where do you get that now in motorsport, where a guy will build his own damper literally from scratch, or design his own gearbox, and then literally put his name to it and go and compete against other people to show, yeah, this stuff's good. I know what I'm at here, like, and always improving it as well. And that's why he comes and does these rallies in Omagh, and he was in Finland before. They're a rally legend there now, so he wants to show it off. He wants to learn about different, as Frank says, you know, when you're in different countries and different states, learn about different terrain and improve and make the thing better. So ideal showcase for him.
Yeah, and everybody, the man that you're talking to, like Donall Sweeney was chatting to him there, he says the man is so humble. He was overlooking around his Toyota and saying, you know, oh, you use my gearbox, and, you know, how do you find it? And, you know, he wanted to see what the customer thought of it as well too. Yeah,
I think the top 3 two-wheel drive were all Simpson's gearboxes, so that just shows how good the gearbox it is. And yeah, Martinez is a very, very, very humble guy. Has built a juggernaut really there, and still would take great pride in going over and seeing Donald's car and seeing that gearbox. And I make no mistake about it, if Donald had an idea about, you know, if we did this here, or wonder, could you do that, he would be taken on board. There's absolutely no, I'm winning the rally, but I don't know, 30 seconds, what do you know? He would be dead serious. Yeah, he'd be interested in their feedback.
For sure. And like Paddy, we touched on something there earlier too, like Q O'Brien and Robbie McGurk there as well too. Like that was like very special. Like I know I'm a good bit older than you, but like I remember them the first time round. But like they don't want to say it themselves, but those guys are legends of Irish rally and full stop.
No, definitely. Like there was, well, obviously I didn't see any of them, but just hearing all the stories and getting to meet Robbie, like when my dad would take us down to Robbie's maybe to get Robbie would be looking at the end of a tools, or Dad's looking at the end of the tools, you'd be going and seeing this big tall man, and Dad would be telling you stories about him winning rallies, and you're just thinking it was so cool to get down to Robbie's and the wee shade, but the big orange car sitting in it, like. But no, definitely coming into the Castle Derg and being in the regroup with them, and then obviously the start line, I think there was a wee delay or something. We got to see them off the start line, and yeah, they definitely weren't sparing it at the start line. It was cool to watch. It's nice to hear the Manta. When you hear all the stories with my dad and obviously Robbie and the Manta, was something special to hear it off the start line.
Yeah, for sure. And like Kevin, like Q O'Brien at 80 years of age, and like that competitive streak still in him. Like he wasn't being officially timed, but I think he was keeping an eye on the times.
He was. He came out to the end of the fourth stage, which was the last stage on Friday night. And I was speaking to him, and he says to me, I can't remember, 17 or something.
7:18. I think I put him about 45th or 46th fastest overall. He had a few R5s, like.
So that's that competitive never ever leaves you. And then he said, tell Big Robbie there, because the two cars were parked beside each other at the end of the stage. And tell Big Robbie, says, I'm going home. And then somebody said, because he doesn't live that far from the end of that stage, like, and then somebody says, no, you don't need to go back to Castle Derg and get petrol. And then he decided, no, better do that.
Unbelievable. You just listen to him all night. Me and Paddy ended up at a wedding in Donegal town with him, and it was just sit and have pints of Guinness with Q O'Brien, and it was just, when somebody like that's talking, you listen, you know what I mean? It was just unbelievable. I remember him saying to Paddy, pick a stage in a rally, like, and that's go. And that's what happened on the first stage, the Bushwhacker, like.
you picked your stage, Paddy, and you listened to Hugh's advice. It was ringing in the back of the ears.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was like on the start line. It was just absolutely maximum attack. Yeah. Hopefully we get to the finish line.
And like, I suppose that the questions everybody's lips now. That's 5. Big Robbie is 9 ones. Is the thought process chipping away towards that title as well?
Yeah, I never really thought too much about it at the start, but yeah, it's getting closer. He's 9, yeah, he's 8 as a driver and 1 as a navigator, so driving's not so far away, but I think the navigating will be the farthest away. I don't know if I'll ever match that, to be honest. But yeah, I think 3 more we've matched him, but yeah, it's easier said than done, but I'll definitely give it a go.
Yeah, and Stephen, I suppose the last question to you, are you willing to let him sit in the co-driver's seat and you drive for a year?
I mean, no hope of that, man. When I'm co-driver, bang driving in a car, anyway. That was my weak link. I pretty quickly found out in life, no, driving's not for me. I'm in another seat. Frank, maybe there, I'd have a chance at one.
Well, Frank, would you give it a go?
Probably not, for I wouldn't put the effort in. I wouldn't drive the car right now. I wouldn't put the effort in. You just it takes a serious amount of work. As I say, probably 2 months ago we started thinking about the Bushwhacker and WhatsApping and changing and notes and analysing videos from last year. It's just not my thing. Hey, I wouldn't be bothered with it,
Yeah, and then I suppose the thing is now the car is up for sale. Like, it has proved itself to be the ultimate for a Skoda, and even at the times it set in Galway a few years ago on the tarmac, like a great package there for some man now to come along and get.
Yeah, 100%. We just had a notion this morning: throw it up. If it goes, it goes. And as every salesman says that, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're not really bothered. There's enough in it, I would say, to win it next year as well. But look, it's a good package. It's a good rally car. Like, it's never give else any bother. And yeah, it'd be good for somebody to get it.
So thanks very much there to the Brians, and they're flat out there between getting ready to go to Australia and work and everything else, so really appreciate the 4 guys there taking the time. And next up now we're going to hear from Robbie McGurk and Raymond Hill. Like, what can we say about Robbie McGurk that hasn't already been said? The 2 guys, just Robbie, legend. He hates me hearing saying that, but he really is. And Raymond, great to see him back in the co-driver's seat again after a few years as well. We had a great chat there as well, but whenever we went off the recording, the 2 boys said they wanted to mention some of the family members as well that was there at the weekend and supporting them and cheering them on too. And Robbie had his grandkids who was there, Harry, Alfie and Freddie, who were their big supporters, and also then sons of Raymond's, then Oliver and Christian as well too. So we always say the Rallying's a big family too, so it's always good to have the support there as them as well too. So let's hear from Robbie and Raymond.
It was good, Kevin. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was we were apprehensive from the point of view I didn't want to damage the car and didn't want to make a fool of myself and make a fool of the club because they invited us to come, myself and Hugh O'Brien, to come and do a sort of I think they called it a demonstration run or something. We just called it a joyride, and it was good. It was, the weather made it. The weather stayed nice, very mild on Friday night, and then the regroup in Castlederg also was a big hit. There was a lot of people at it, and there was it was well supported. Great atmosphere in it, and the format. I'm not a fan of the nighttime stuff, but yeah, it was very, very good. I mean, we got the lamps and all sorted, and done the job for the speed we were going at anyway. So.
And Raymond, from your point of view, rekindling an old friendship.
Yes, got a phone call from Robbie, asking. He was telling me what he was going to do. Asked would I like to sit, and I said, "Oh, Robbie, I don't think so. It's probably 35 years since I sat in a rally car." And I said, "Robbie, I think I'll give it a 5 all." So my wife Julie, Julie says, "Why are you not going to do it?" And I said, "Oh, I don't think Julie will be up for it." She says, "You should do it. You should do it." So rang him back and said, "Yeah, Robbie, I'm up for it." Now he assured me, by the way, that he wouldn't be going quick. It was out for a bit of fun, no pressure on. And his words were, nobody about in the stages will be driving like a granny. If there's a few people about in the corner, we'll be doing a bit of demo. I thought that would do me okay. So that's how it all started. Then the next problem was getting a race suit to fit me. And I've been on a bit of weight probably since I used to rally. And eventually Davy Gray came up with the goods again. And after 2 or 3 different ones, we got one to fit me.
Excellent, excellent. And this was really reeling in the years. Like, you were buddies back in the day, and it was another sort of Omagh legend that got you a friend in the first place.
Yes, totally right. The late Ronnie McCartney, probably going back, I did the rally with Ronnie. I think it was 82, 83 maybe. We did it in a Nissan, and we finished second behind OB, funny enough. OB, I think that beat us that day by 3 or 4 seconds. A real tight battle. And I sat with Robbie many, many years ago in the famous Avenger. And I did the Bushwhacker with Jimmy Mills. I used to with all the boys. I never was very good at the job. It was better navigating, it wasn't the driving. But yes, it was. So Robbie and me go back probably nearly 50 years. And it was great to be back out with him again.
Excellent, excellent. And that name, Ronnie McCartney, Robbie, the man that sort of got you involved in all this madness really to start with.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that, Kevin. Back in those days, I was going to rallies with different guys, and going with whoever would take me, really. And I seemed to go quite a lot to Ronnie here and there and everywhere, from Circuit of Ireland to the Bushwhacker to whatever was going on. Cork 20. I remember sitting in the back of a Range Rover one time going to the Cork 20, and we'd done the Galloway Hills and some of those rallies over in England as well. And it was all good crack at the time and good experience, you know. And it was. And Ronnie was a bit of a legend back in the day too, you know. So it was nice, and always had a pretty good car, from a Sunbeam to an Escort or whatever. That's sort of where my whole thing really sort of started.
And you got your first one in the Bushwhacker in the passenger seat? We
did. That was in 1981. Yeah, 1981. He just asked me to go, and I, of course, was delighted. I was hadn't a clue what I was doing, but I just sat there, and he knew where the stages were. And of course, we had a road book of sorts, and I tried my utmost. I mean, there was no pace notes, or there was no, it might have been tulips or something maybe for the stage, but I just sat and crossed my arms and smiled, and it was just amazing. It was amazing.
But he was the master at that time, especially on the list. Like he was the cream of the crop, and it must have been like a masterclass for you.
It was just. It was Ronnie, but sort of a hero of mine, and to sit on the gravel with him, it was just. And I mean, all the other drivers would agree. You know, maybe not so much on tarmac, but certainly on gravel, it was second to none. Second to none.
And like Raymond, you got the opportunity to sit and see firsthand what Ronnie could do as well too. He was the ultimate.
Yes, indeed. I've sat with many drivers, but Ronnie, bit like Robbie, just natural ability. Ronnie didn't care too much about tires or tire pressure. Just give him a bit of loose and people's side of the road, and he was special. There's no doubt about that. He was a very gifted driver, and probably could have been quicker if he wanted to be, but he wanted to show people the car going sideways. And for a young navigator like myself, who was only there for the fun, really, for the crack, it was a great opportunity. And to say that, and Omagh to me, Bushwhacker, I've been coming down to Omagh since probably the late 70s, down to the auction, and ended up buying the auction centre down in Omagh. So I was down there every Monday night, and that's probably, again, built up a relationship with Robbie, and I should say Maggie as well, because Robbie was travelling the world sometimes at that stage for Pro Drive, and I always called to make sure Maggie was okay, on a Monday night, and she wasn't lonely and so forth. But so we've had a lovely friendship, and that friendship has continued on. But yes, back to the Ronnie driving, it was a great experience. And then I went to many rallies along with Robbie when he was servicing. I'm not sure what my job was, but it was always there, and always great time.
And like Robbie, I suppose getting back to the rally, like the rally is 50 years old. You've seen it from those very early days right through to the present day, and like it has become the gravel rally in Ireland. And like it's without a doubt, like, and this weekend I think just raised the bar again. You mentioned, the night stages, the regroup. all those things, Omagh Motor Club took them on to, I think, I don't know how to even to describe it. They just took it to the 11.
Oh, it's for sure, Kevin. I mean, the Bushwhacker. I was actually at the first Bushwhacker 2-day tarmac rally. I wasn't competing, but we were there spectating, and I remember getting a job doing a flag marshal at one of the stages. And from there, I mean, at that time, that the Ulster Rally came along after that, and that more or less became the Ulster Rally. But after that, then they went to the gravel, and it's been on the gravel ever since. I think what makes it so popular is just, it's the nature of the stages. They're very, very good stages. Now, if we had a wet weekend there for the rally, the stages might have got a lot worse. There was a few parts of them were cutting up pretty bad, but the weather always favours that. But it's the nature of the stages, and I think I don't know. I think everybody would like to win the Bushwhacker. There's any driver that comes here, they come to win it, and they would love to win it. I mean, there's something special about it. Mm-hmm. There again, the club have done a fantastic job. It's always been very well organised, and this particular year with the 50th anniversary, I mean, this has gone on a long, long time behind the scenes, and this has been talked about after last year's Bushwhacker. And some of the committee members approached me to see would I be interested in doing something or getting a car or whatever. And to be honest, I wasn't that bothered. And I said to them, actually, we'll do something. We'll drive a course car or something. But then one night down in Donna's place in Donegal, we had to do for the BRC. Remember, you had it yourself. And at the end of the night, the conversation came around again, and somebody asked, "Where you going?" And I said, "No." And Davey put his hand up and he says, "Sure, take my manta." Now, that was the seed sowed. And I think I recall telling Davey at that time, "Look, we're friends a long time, and I would like to stay friends, so we'll leave it there." So I had to make the phone call there recently, and no better man, Davey. Sure, we're like the gypsies. I borrowed the car, Raymond borrowed a suit, and we have everything about the place borrowed. But as I say, the club done a fantastic job, and a lot of people, especially competitors, they don't appreciate the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes. Yeah. And even on the day of the rally, I can guarantee that there's none of the top 10 drivers in that rally know where all the organisation is taking place on that day in the rally office. I mean, it's just the hub. Everything's there, and there's computers everywhere. There's trackers. There's maps. There's things on the wall, and there's everybody has their own point. Maybe a dozen people in this room, and the radio control and everything's there. And it's just like it's a military style operation, and it's. I was very impressed with it myself, and I never realised how much goes into it as well myself. But this is in the back room, and these guys rarely get the praise that they deserve. But I think Omagh they pulled off a good one at the weekend. Now from the marshals, the timekeepers, the marshals at the chicanes, from the clerk of the course to the zero car, to all those guys, they've done a fantastic job. Fantastic job. Yeah,
because Raymond, something else as well too. Like the last competitor went into stage 4 on Friday night. I think it was probably 1 o'clock, if not after it. And they had them stages turned around and not even just reversed, tweaked. Different edits made on them, one thing and another. By 9 or 10 o'clock the next morning, ready to rock again. That's huge dedication by not just a few people, a whole team of people.
Oh, totally, absolutely. As second everything Robbie said there about, I don't think any of us competitors ever realised, what I didn't anyway, how much effort, pressure, people involved. And if those guys run a Bushwhacker and a business, they would be a very successful business. It was unbelievable. We went to a meeting for about half an hour, by 6 o'clock before the first car left. And they were telling us exactly, as Robbie said, there were computers, there were guys from England, safety officers. It was unbelievable. But I don't think Robbie listened very much to them. because we were well warned, OB and ourselves, that that we weren't competing. We were there to do a bit of show, and so we wanted to drive within our means, and don't be don't go off the road. Go off the road, we're not going to get you recovered again. We can't stop the rally. So we were told very strictly, that we were there to conduct ourselves, and please don't be driving too quickly. There'll be tractor in the car and so forth. So that relaxed me a bit. Got to the first stage, big crowd of people about, photographs being taken, Robbie signed autographs, and you felt quite important. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And I'm saying, oh, well, Robbie, there's a corner up here. And I'm saying, so we weren't allowed to read pace notes, we weren't allowed to do time cards. So I'm going, so I realised then Robbie wasn't listening to the file on the seat. And I have to say, I had to sell him off a few times, but I hope Davy Greer doesn't see all the coverage of all the stages, or we might not get the car again. But Robbie was driving faster than probably he should have been, or he wanted to maybe. But when the crowds were there and there were spectators were everywhere, cameras flashing, blah, 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 and it's hard, and that probably Robbie's ability not to do what he did. So it was fantastic.
Yeah, because Robbie, it must be so difficult not to get caught up in all that. Whenever the guy says go and you have all these people and in-round service, it was amazing to see everybody over around the Manta just looking and wanting to catch a glimpse of yourself and Hugh as well too. There is something pretty special about seeing guys back from yesteryear coming back to relive their glories.
Well, I didn't get caught up in any battles. There was no times taken, and I knew. Kevin, I've had my day, and I don't need to be driving a 10 tenths now. As I say, we had great fun. We were well within our limits. We were virtually freewheeling around the chicanes, and we didn't have to, and that was always the plan. Just we were there for a bit of a show or a demonstration or whatever you want to call it. But listen, it doesn't rest easy with me. All this attention. I don't I don't need the attention. I don't particularly listen. I don't mind it.
Yes,
but
I like it.
Raymond loves it. It doesn't sit well with me. I'm not. I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm no legend, or I'm no superstar. I was happy looking up to win a few rallies, and that's the way I like to leave it. I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm not. There's nothing. I've never forgot my place. Put it that way. But yes, around the service and all, and as you said earlier, Sidney Meek was there, and. Yeah. Sidney enjoyed it. It was good to see him out he hasn't been well for a while there, and it's good to see him out. And he was looking around the Manta and having a bit of a chat with OB and a few other people, and it's good to see. And the amount of people coming over, taking photographs with the cars and stuff was brilliant. The atmosphere was fantastic.
Yeah, because there's probably people out there last weekend that hadn't been at a rally in a good few years as well too. Because they wanted to see the Manta, they wanted to see yourselves. All those things there just make it that wee bit, a bit more atmosphere, a bit more buzz about the thing.
Well, that certainly worked now, and fair play to the club. When I was asked in the earlier days about going, I said, what do I want? What do I need that for? But I can see what they were at, and it definitely it drew a fair crowd. I'm not saying they all came Castle Derrick to see the Manta or OB's escort, but it was that was unique. Now I've never seen that at any of the rallies. It's just the amount of children and stuff, and people were in the Castle Derrick town centre, and there's photographs and videos, and there's even a good pizza shop there too. I haven't mentioned him. He was closed. And then he opened up for us.
I think Robbie had to pay for it as well. He didn't like it. But Kevin, I can just say, I'm 65, and how difficult it was for me to get in and out of that rally car. That was really the hardest bit, and get the helmet on. And I'd just like to say, Hugh O'Brien at his age he is, and I have to take my hat off to him. Fantastic. He was up all night, but up and done all the stages. Never complained once, and he had his son-in-law with him. I thought it was fantastic to see him.
His grandson with him.
Grandson with him, that's right. And by the way, Kevin, Robbie said he's modest, but he quite enjoyed the girls taking his photographs. Don't tell Maggie that, but quite enjoyed it all.
You think the chest got puffed out a wee bit, do you?
Yeah, he's bigger. He's a big boy anyway, but he's 3 inches taller. I went on. I was really glad, Kevin, when we broke the struck, because he was just going quicker and quicker. As he said himself, probably the bits he wasn't slow as round, wasn't chicanes. He says, really, we can't afford to put wings and doors and this stuff. So that's where he was very, very tidy or very careful. But on the fast stuff now, he wasn't caring too much.
Yeah. And Raymond, you mentioned earlier, about borrowing a suit and Robbie borrowing the car. Isn't that the fantastic thing about rallying? The way everybody just rallies together and, get what you need, what can we get you? Like, there's very few other sports would do that for you.
100%. And, and when I was rallying, it was Samantha, Stephen Mawinney, Samantha, Dickie, up around Ballyclare where I live here, we had George Robinson, you had Ronnie and Desi, and we had, Stephen Mawinney, you had Dickie Hall, my brother Mervyn, and we're all out together, and Nigel McGee, and we went as a team, and not only us, but the Omagh boys, Mark Felt boys at the time. Most of us were riding Mark II Escorts, and if we needed a car or a rim or a radiator or a gearbox, if we had one, everybody just helped each other and got each other going. That's unlike any other sport I've ever been involved in. They are a family, and I haven't seen guys there as 30 years, 35 years, and up they come, and you remember their face, and you remember Robbie was quite good saying that's famous and that's so, and it was lovely. It was like you were never away from it,
Mm-hmm. I could, like, Robbie, it was slipping back into old conversations as if you'd met them last week.
That's right, and plus then they had a prize given on Saturday night as well, which is sort of a revamp of the old style. But I don't know that it's ever going to catch on. But it was nice to see. There was the top guys were there and collected their awards, and there was a bit of banter and stuff and after it, and I think it was 2 a.m. when I got out of it, so it was a good night, and we had a bit of banter. In fact, I was standing close to Patrick O'Brien at one stage, and somebody said we went back to back, and I think Patrick might be slightly taller than me, but somebody then says, "Oh, so that's the secret now. You have to be 6'5" to win this rally." just a bit of banter, a bit of crack, and as it should be.
Aye, for sure. And like when you think of like Patrick, he's not even 30 yet.
I thought he was about 14.
Aye, and isn't it crazy? Like he's 5 1s under his belt. The guy is an immense talent, and it's just fantastic to see the next generation.
Fantastic to see it, Kevin, and Patrick is cool, calm, and collected. Everything seems to be under control all the time, and his brother Stephen as well. Never seems to get too flustered, and he's whatever you said, he's 28 or whatever. I mean, I can see loads more wins in Patrick, and there's no doubt about that. He's well capable for it. Now, listen. Any of the guys in the top 10 there, I wouldn't like to be trying to race any of them. Mm-hmm. I suppose on their day, with a bit of luck, or if the luck goes the other way, it can be. Mm-hmm. But for winning that rally, you need to have everything right. Everything has to be right, and you do need a certain bit of luck somewhere along the event. Should it be weather, or should it be tires, or should it be whatever? Luck always plays a part in it.
Good navigator, Robbie, maybe as well.
That can help.
But Kevin, I think,
when he's wearing Davy Gray's race suit.
I think, Kevin, maybe that the Omagh Club maybe should think another year just making a 2-wheel drive rally and put all those 4-wheel drive cars away, and then Robbie and I might maybe more a chance next year.
No, that's not going to happen.
Well, Davey, we're taking Davey for dinner here in the next couple of weeks. And why, Davey, a few drinks, you wouldn't know what would happen.
Never know.
You're going to sugarcoat him again, you think?
Well, we have to try.
Well, just when we're on the note of Davey there, I also have to thank Niall McCullough for Raymond's helmet and balaclava. I have to thank Barney Mitchell for my race suit, and Martin Brady for my crash helmet. Was there anybody else? Neil McCafferty for offering his services to work on the car during the rally and collecting it from Davies. So there's a lot of people involved in this. Like there always was. There always sort of were like the beggars about here.
And Maggie made your breakfast.
Maggie ate my breakfast.
So thanks very much there to Robbie and Raymond. Yeah, brilliant. Have to say, pleasure chatting to the guys there. Then Donall Sweeney and Oisin Joyce. Like Donald's been out of the seat now for 2 years, just before the Lakeland there, more or less, and to come back and at the pace he's at, and to be racing, David Cross and Paul Barrett, I'm going to leave out people here because there's so many guys there last weekend. It was the cream of the two-wheel drive brigade there, definitely, and they'll admit themselves they had no answer to Sansomas in the BM, but that car is amazing. The noise of it, anybody who was there over the weekend will tell you the noise of that thing making through the forest was something else. But our own guys, give it a great battle, and as I say, the pace was just something else. But anyway, let's hear from Donall and Oisin.
The battle we had, Kevin, was we were driving as hard as we could, and we went out to the end of the stage, and you would see everybody else's time, and it was like, this is on a different level. It's like Hugh McQuaid said one time, we're all going far too hard. That's the problem. But no, there was some battle. Like it was some event.
Yeah, because it was fractions of seconds. It was covering you. It's like it was you took one off, and then you lost two, and then the next stage. It just kept going backwards and forwards for the whole day and night, or night and day.
The whole event. Last week, you'd have thought if it was that sort of event, you thought that would be perfect. But if everybody was having a really good ding dong the whole weekend, and then that's the way it worked out. It was, you couldn't ask for better. But because on the first, I don't know, it's the fourth stage. We had a bad stage. Was it Oisin? The muck on the one screen.
Yeah.
The third or fourth sage.
That was the
and
fourth stage. Second run.
The muck splashed up on the one screen on the fourth stage, and I didn't know how to put the wipers on to put it off or what to do. And I thought, I went home that night thinking, going to have to do something about this tomorrow. Maybe it's the muck on the stage that on a Friday night that got the thing going quicker, sharper on Saturday morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Oisin, from your point of view as well too, is that your first time doing night stages, or did you done the last time as well?
No, I only ever did one night stage down in Killarney Historics with Aaron McIntyre. So it was completely. I've never even done the Bushwhacker before, so it was a new rally and it was a new experience doing stages I've never even seen in real life before on the loose, and to be sitting with Donall, he always goes hard. The pressure was on, let's say, last week. It felt like I was under the cush, let's say, but no, it was grand. It was really good fun in the dark. And like that, I didn't realise Donall couldn't actually see. He literally couldn't see a thing in that last stage. We came through the second chicane in the stage and just covered the windscreen in muck. And I was kind of thinking, Donall didn't know where the wipers were because the steering wheel was dark. And I was thinking, just don't wipe the screen anyway because you're probably going to make it worse. So I didn't realise he was actually trusting me so much. Probably good that I didn't realise it till the road section, but and I wouldn't mind. We were still a second quicker the second time over in the dark, so it wasn't so bad. And then we were a wee bit behind. We were in fourth going in Saturday morning when you had a bit of a job to do, so. And we did it, so we were happy with that. It was a great event. Really, really enjoyed it.
Because Donall, it was the cream of two-wheel drive. Anybody you'd want it to be there and compete against was there. It was the best of the best.
Because I left home on Friday evening, Kevin, and someone said to me, you'll do it again. I said, no, it's a chance, not this. Hey, whatever I did the last 2 years ago, that's a different story today because I start naming off all the names. And no, if we finish top 5 two-wheel drive, it'll be a good achievement this weekend because just the entry was that impressive. So to do what I do now, I'm at work now in Scotland on Monday evening, and I'm still on a high. I'm still coming down from it. So that tells you all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And we have to, right, before we go any further, I suppose, have to pay credit to the club. They put on an absolutely fantastic event right from the get-go. Like the Thursday night previous, the dinner, and then that rolled into Friday evening. Like, we know how good the service area is, the regroup, the stages, everything just seemed to just run really well. And I don't think there was a stage lost the whole weekend either.
No, there was no hiccups at all, was there really? There was no held back.
There was none.
And they must have been very late on Friday night. They must have been working very late to get the thing turned around for Saturday morning, because we left. I was going home at about 1 o'clock on Friday night, and the service yard was still buzzing. So it was some achievement. I don't know how they got as much help. It was some achievement to do that. The night stages 2 years ago, there was 2 stages and everybody was home in good enough time, but last Friday night was a full rally nearly, or a full gravel rally on the Friday evening. So it was some achievement. It was some buzz.
I'd like to have the manpower to turn that round and to be ready again for early Saturday morning as well too. Like so.
Completely different stages, everything turned round and a different format. It was brilliant.
Oisin, you wanted to jump in there?
I know, I can't remember. I was chatting to one of the organising members out of the club, and he said he went to bed at, was it 3:30 Saturday morning, got back up at 6 or 6:30 and back into it again. Like, that's what they were doing. They were running on fumes. Like, fair play to them. They did a really, really good job. Everything ran like clockwork. You can only take your hats off to them. They ran.
And then they had a prize given.
Yeah,
I did. Like,
and it was sensible.
I mean, you wouldn't do it if you were wise, like.
But like, even Oisin, probably the thing, even it would have been the simple thing to do would have been to run the same stages Saturday morning. But they didn't even do that. They changed them up. Like the Cleater stages were completely different. Carrigaholt, I think, was the same, but like the Braddon stages were reversed. Like, that was a whole, it had to go around and set up them stages all over again.
That's it. Like, and the amount of organisation that takes, like, for any club is huge. Like, even going from, like, all right, Killarney and West Cork, now they're organising stages in the dark, Ulster as well, and they might be organising a stage in the daylight and then running it into the dark because it's easier to do. But the amount of organisation it takes to run 4 stages in the dark, and then to do that in a forestry on top of that, and then for the next morning, only maybe 6 or 7 hours later, to have them turned around in the opposite direction and ready to go, or even using different roads in the same stage, it's brilliant. Like what they achieved. I think they raised the bar for forestries anyway in the country, definitely, if not the rallying in general.
That's for sure. I guess, Donald, like we've said it over the last few weeks, the pace in the gravel has just getting higher and higher. It's probably at least equal to the tarmac at this stage.
No, it was fast. It was fast at the weekend. But whenever we went to the Lakelands, I realised that it was how it's fast, Kevin, because I haven't done that much rallying in the last few years, but I know the pace on Saturday, Saturday especially, was like it was all or nothing. It's like somebody said on Saturday night, you're at that pace where if something does go wrong, it's a plane crash. Like it's not just going hard. It's on a wing and a prior at times, but whenever you get away with it, it's deadly.
And but the thing was, especially the 2-wheel drives, the top guys, there was very little. Like, there was a very low attrition rate. Like, nearly everybody finished as well too, and to be on that pace, that just says the level of preparation that's gone into you guys, the level of preparation that's gone into the cars as well too.
I think that's the stages, maybe, Kevin. The stages are it's not like your typical gravel rally where after a pass, the stages on Saturday evening were still brilliant. Carrigaholt is that old school proper. It gets a wee bit, it still doesn't get rough. There's just more grip in it. It goes down to the bare bedrock, But I like that because it was down to, there was that much grip on Carrigaholt the second time over it on Saturday that you were getting loads of grip on the braking and you were being brave, But no, the stages were brilliant. I'd say that's why everybody stuck it. It wasn't really showing the car at all for a gravel. It wasn't showing the car, so that's what made the rally. So that's what makes the Bushwhacker so good, because it's those big, fast flowing stage where you can carry speed in the corner like a tarmac rally. That's what makes it so exciting to drive.
Yeah, because the videos are starting to appear now as the last day or so as well too, and some of the action is just absolutely insane. As you say, it's right on the edge. There's a sweeping right hander, and everybody's just hanging and hanging and hanging, and it's precision or madness. I don't know, but it's millimeters to spare.
No, there's not much in it. There's not much in it. But everybody's the same. Everybody's on that age, and that's why people go to watch the Bushwhacker. It's that, and it gets faster and faster every year. Now Saturday, I have to admit, there's parts of Saturday was fast. It was definitely fast.
And the great thing too with the forestry is a great leveler. You're like a 2 litre modified. David Crossan and Paul Barrett's out in their historic cars. There's other guys in we had like a 2.5 car. I think there's no perfect car for the forestry. It's not like the Rally 2 cars that they're all kind of built to the same specification. The modified historic thing is just that mix of stuff, and everybody has a chance.
Well, that's what I said that to was Killian or someone on Saturday, that you obviously had the R5s and you had Martinez in his car, but again, we were going hard, but David Cross and Paul Barrett, all the BDA boys, and everybody else, the Twitter men, Sam, and everybody, who else? McToll, Paddy was going very hard. They're all going hard and ordinary rear-wheel drive cars, but it has, not until your seat do you realise how hard they're going. But that pace is hot now.
Yeah.
Especially in 2 litre BDA car. I know I always say that, but any man that can go in that pace in a BDA car he's brave.
That's for sure, yeah. And Oisin, it's you sort of kill each other for a second on the stages, but then to see you step out and the banter and the crack that goes on, it was just a joy to watch them coming into service or seeing you the way you banter each other, the regroup and all. It must be a lot of fun out of the car as well.
It's very good now. The crack in the 2-wheel drives is very good because every man's out and they just want to drive, and they want to go as hard as they can, but they're also sliding about and they're talking about the moments they had and all this, and they're all comparing about the different ways the different cars act, because you've Shane McGurk in a Lada, I think I said it to somebody in the regroup on the Friday night, there was only one Escort in the top 4. It was all different manufacturers. There was 4 different manufacturers in the top 4. There was a Toyota, a Lada, a BMW, and a Mark II Escort crossing in the Escort. And each one of them cars will behave differently over the stage, and they'll get their time differently.
Yeah.
And it was really, really interesting, whereas Rally 2 cars they're different to one another, but they're more or less the same in how they behave. But no, it was really interesting, and it was a lot of crack with the likes of Shane and the likes of Crossan and Paul Barrett and the boys, and Paddy McToll as well. There's all of us had just wild crack between stages and stuff, and it was alright. You were going in and being serious on the stage, but between stages it wasn't as serious, and you were having a bit of a laugh. It was good crack. I really enjoyed it.
All good manners, aye. All good manners.
Aye.
But Donall, isn't that what it's all about? Isn't it that this is your relaxing, this is your time away from work. You don't want it to be hard work when you get there.
No, and you're nervous. You're rolling up to start a stage and you're nervous, and have you got everything? Are you getting yourself organised? And then you get out of the car to maybe check tires or something, and somebody's been smart. So it makes it easier. It makes you sort of we're all in the same boat here. We'll have to get through the next stage, and I know that I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Saturday. Whatever the result, I enjoyed that. See, a bunch of lads as mighty crack.
Yeah, because I was chatting to David Crossan at the end and Paul Barrett as well too, and they were saying the same as you. The result doesn't really matter. It was the crack, and it was the being at that pace and getting away with it. I think as much as anything else.
That's right. Yeah. Pioneer historic cars.
Yeah.
Did David Crossan not beat Martinez in one of the stages?
I think he did as well too. Yeah.
Hey.
Paul Barrett.
Think about that.
Paul Barrett got a fastest two-wheel drive time.
It was Paul Barrett in the first stage.
Uh-huh.
It was Paul Barrett.
On Saturday morning, Paul Barrett wiped everybody. I think he took like 4 odd seconds out of everyone.
We thought we were fastest. Then by the time we got to the next stage, somebody says Paul Barrett wiped us. How did he do that?
But, and we should make a reference to the BMW. Like Martinez brought the car and his team over, like mid the trek over for our wee rally. That just speaks volumes for the quality of him and Omagh Motor Club when they're attracting it, and like the amount of guys that was over from the UK competing as well too in their escorts.
That's right,
and they just loved the event too.
Martinez is very modest, and to talk to him, you'd think, this is the man. I have a Samsona's gearbox in the car, and you think this man, to talk to him, what does he be like? He's so modest and nice and down. He's a nice man. He's very civil and knows what he's talking about, and obviously a good driver.
That's for sure. Yeah, you could have all the
some trip, isn't it?
And you could have all that power and not able to use it, but he just uses it so effectively.
He can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can use it. But no, nice fella. Some trip. It must be some track for him.
Oh, he's probably not home yet.
No, that's right.
And Donald, like that's now the Lakeland, the Bushwhacker, the Lakeland. Before we go any further, that was another epic event too. Like the pace, it's every event you go to now. There's no soft rallies anymore now. Everywhere's flat out.
Because we didn't really get a chance to test the week before the Lakeland, so I said, right, we'll not go out expecting anything. We'll just go for a run and get back into the groove. After the first or second stage, it was back, but it was still. It takes a wee bit of getting used to again, But whenever everybody else is going so hard, it's either step up or be blew out of the water again. But the Lakelands is fast. It's a fast rally. It's a fast gravel. It's fast and loose and it's committed. It's sort of different to the Bushwhacker in ways, but it's still very fast.
Aye, it is amazing. Like the two counties beside each other, within probably 40 miles less probably of each other, but completely different characteristics in the stages.
Completely different rallies. Completely. It's like somebody said to me the week after the rally, they always thought the Lakelands was scarier because it's full open in places, and they're not fast medium. They're fast corners with crests on them where the car can get light and get wavy on it, But it's not. It's a mighty rally too.
Yeah. And like Oisin too, from your point of view, like we mentioned briefly earlier on there about the night stages and all that. Like, is there a different mindset to that, or is it you just get the head down and just keep reading?
Probably a different mindset in that you have to take into account it's going to be dark, so you have to plan in advance for that. Like you're bringing head torches and stuff in case the light in the car stops working or stuff like that, But in terms of like calling on the stage, it's more or less the same. I'd say the fact that it's dark and then you throw on the full beams and it's like you're in a different reality. It's unreal. Like your whole stage just lights up in front of you, and then it just amps everything up to 12, never mind 11. Like it's unbelievable. It's the best thing ever. I remember I was saying to Donall on the road section way back in on Friday night, I was like, can we do that all over again? Like, if I could do a full night rallying in the dark, I'd happily do it. It was just a savage experience. It's worth being absolutely shattered on Monday for it. I'll put it like that.
And do you get the sensation from the crowds too? Because everybody was saying about the crowds, the amount of people, the camera flashes and all that there. Do you get all that in the car as well?
Aye, you do. And you feel like an absolute rock star when you see the flashes coming in through the window and you're calling and Donald's driving the absolute ring out of the car and you can see the crowd, you can feel the crowd. It feels more intense that way too. It's like like a Friday night lights sort of football game or a rugby game. It's that same sort of intensity. I don't know, is it the tension from the week has just been built up, and then you've this release, and that's what it is to me. It's absolutely class. There should be more night stages.
On the gravel.
On the gravel.
On the gravel.
So anybody listening from Omagh Motor Club, next year, forget about the Saturday, just go all night Friday. But Donall, it is a very special sensation then.
I don't. Oh, it is. It is. It's that even after you think the first stage you get used to it, but even the start of the second stage. Which one of the big long stage, isn't it? Is that the second stage?
Carrick-a-Holton, yeah, that was in.
There was a big long straight in Carrick-a-Holton, aye.
Yeah, and we done the notes before we went out. We done the notes before we left the service yard. We took a look at them, and I could see in the notes that it's really, really fast. You know what, Kevin? It was really fast, isn't it? And there's maybe a fast, like we're 6 fastest, so 6. It's maybe a 5 right and a 6 right, and it's all flat. It is all flat. And I knew, and I told myself it was all flat, but I was pulling gears the whole way and the lights were on. Whatever way the lights were projecting off trees away in the background, I said, that's not a right. It looks like a left. And you're starting to lift, and you know you don't need to lift, but your brain's telling you have to lift when you're sitting in 6th gear, and then you're coming down into it's completely different. It is completely different, and it's probably a good way to get back sharp on listening to notes, because whenever you get on into the whenever you get on into technical parts of the stage, it's all on the notes. It's all listening. It's this and it's that, and it's it is some feeling, it's some sensation, especially like I say, when you're committed into something and you get away with it, it's mighty. It's deadly. And you're just getting away with it. It's deadly.
Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, like that's the 2 rallies done. Like the Dog League coming up now in a few weeks, the next round of the Northern Ireland Forestry Challenge. It's a great wee championship they're pulling together there.
It's handy now, whenever you have the cars there and you're sitting gravel ready to go, it's good. It's handy, and it's handy for us because it's not that far from home. So no, it'll be good. It'll be good to give it a rattle. Yeah,
and I suppose before we finish up, we should pay credit to Trevor McConnell at Preps Your Car. Like, he has given you a car now for 2 rallies in a row there. That's just, the car's been faultless.
From we left in a skilling at the Lakelands, I never seen the car until Friday evening. I never said eyes, and I intended getting down last week to take her for a drive and just see was everything all right. I never got a chance. I rung Trevor on Thursday morning. I said, "Do you think she's all right?" He said, "No, she'll be all right. She'll be grand." Now, hey, Trevor McConnell knows what he's at. It has to be said. He's especially when it comes to setting up the car.
Yeah. And like, had your lights set for you, too, to get into the woods, too. Yeah, like all them.
I never seen her. I never seen the car on Friday. That's fact.
Yeah.
But and the same. Me and him got a looked around the car on the Wednesday for the Lakelands, but not much.
Yeah.
And I says, "What about this and what about that?" And Trevor knows. He just knows. He knows the crack. He knows what he's at. He's at it long enough. Sure, he eats, sleeps, and he breathes. He's rallying in cars. So he knows what he's at.
Yeah. Thanks very much there to Donall and Oisin and all our guests in this episode. What can we say? That was the Bushwhacker 50th anniversary. Hopefully the next 50 is every bit as good as what the last 50 has been. Brilliant rally. Highly recommend it. So that's the latest Krunching Gears, the Rally podcast. Please like, share, rate, subscribe. And until the next time, take care, speak soon, and bye.
That's the proudest day and the proudest time and the seat of a rally car, because that day and that hour and those minutes, I got the bit between my teeth. I really stood up and was counted and said, this is not getting away. I remember when we pulled on our helmets and Donald says to me, what are we doing? I said, we're going for gold, Barrett. That's all we said. I can still picture that run. That was just the best run ever.